Tensions escalate as the U.S. blocks Iranian ports amid a growing military conflict. This is just one of the significant stories shaping our world today. Here are today's top 10 stories you need to know. Former President Donald Trump has sparked significant controversy following the release of an AI-generated image depicting him as Jesus Christ. The image, which was meant to be humorous, has drawn sharp criticism from various religious and political circles. Many have expressed outrage, arguing that it trivializes sacred religious figures and undermines the seriousness of faith. Trump's defenders claim that the image was intended as a lighthearted commentary, but the backlash highlights the sensitivity surrounding religious representations. This incident is indicative of the ongoing cultural clashes in American society, where political figures often find themselves at the center of divisive debates. As reactions continue to unfold, the incident raises questions about the boundaries of humor in political discourse. This controversy may have implications for Trump's political future as he navigates public opinion in a polarized environment. The conversation surrounding this image reflects broader discussions about respect, satire, and the role of religion in politics. In a recent address, Pope Leo XIV has critiqued the leadership of the United States regarding its approach to international conflicts. He stated that the current administration's policies have contributed to rising tensions and instability in the Middle East. The Pope's comments come at a time when many are questioning the effectiveness of U.S. foreign policy and its long-term implications. His criticisms echo sentiments held by various international leaders who advocate for a more diplomatic approach. The Pope's message emphasizes the need for compassion and understanding in addressing global issues. As the situation in the Middle East remains precarious, the call for a re-evaluation of leadership strategies is becoming increasingly urgent. The moral authority of the Pope may influence public opinion and encourage a shift towards peaceful resolutions. The international community is paying attention to these remarks, as they may inspire calls for change in U.S. foreign policy. Financial markets around the world are reacting to the ongoing tensions between the United States and Iran. Investors are increasingly concerned about the potential for conflict to disrupt global oil supplies and economic stability. Stock markets have experienced heightened volatility, reflecting investor uncertainty. Analysts predict that if tensions escalate further, we could see a significant downturn in markets as panic selling occurs. Additionally, sectors reliant on stable energy prices, such as transportation and manufacturing, may face increased costs. Businesses are beginning to assess risks and prepare for potential supply chain disruptions. The financial community is urging governments to seek diplomatic solutions to prevent a full-blown crisis. As the situation continues to develop, the economic implications will be closely watched, with many hoping for a resolution that stabilizes markets. The interdependence of global economies means that conflicts in one region can have far-reaching impacts. China is closely monitoring the escalating tensions between the United States and Iran, drawing strategic lessons from the ongoing conflict. Chinese officials are analyzing the geopolitical implications of U.S. military actions and their potential impact on regional stability. As a major player in global politics, China has vested interests in maintaining a stable Middle East, given its energy needs and economic ties. Analysts suggest that China may leverage this situation to enhance its own influence in the region, promoting its diplomatic initiatives as alternatives to U.S. policies. The Chinese government has expressed calls for restraint from all parties involved, emphasizing the importance of dialogue and negotiation. This latest development highlights the interconnectedness of global politics, where actions taken by one nation can reverberate worldwide. As the U.S.-Iran situation evolves, China's response will be crucial in shaping the future geopolitical landscape. The world watches to see how China will navigate these tensions while pursuing its interests. In a powerful statement, Pope Leo XIV has condemned the ongoing conflict between the United States and Iran. The Pope emphasized that no war can be justified and called for immediate dialogue to resolve tensions peacefully. His remarks come amidst rising violence and escalating military actions in the region, which have drawn international concern. The Pope's condemnation resonates with many who advocate for peace and diplomacy over conflict. His call for an end to hostilities is particularly poignant given the humanitarian crises that often accompany military engagements. Religious leaders around the world have echoed the Pope's sentiments, urging their followers to seek peaceful resolutions. As the situation continues to escalate, the call for peace becomes increasingly critical in the global discourse. The Vatican's stance could influence public opinion and encourage world leaders to prioritize diplomacy. The Pope's message serves as a reminder of the moral imperative to seek understanding and reconciliation. Recent developments indicate that U.S. military engagements in the Middle East are intensifying amid the growing conflict with Iran. Reports have emerged of increased deployments of military assets in the region, including aircraft and naval vessels. This escalation is part of a broader strategy to assert U.S. presence and deter Iranian aggression. The Pentagon has stated that these military actions are necessary to protect U.S. interests and allies in the region. However, critics argue that such moves could provoke further hostilities and undermine ongoing diplomatic efforts. The potential for misunderstanding and accidental confrontations is heightened, raising the stakes for all parties involved. As the situation unfolds, military officials are under pressure to balance deterrence with the need for dialogue. The reaction from Iran and its allies will be crucial in shaping the next steps in this volatile situation. The world watches closely as military strategies evolve in response to a rapidly changing landscape. As the geopolitical tensions rise between the United States and Iran, the economic implications are starting to unfold. Analysts are now projecting a significant increase in oil prices due to the blockade of Iranian ports and military actions in the region. This economic instability is expected to have widespread repercussions, affecting not only energy prices, but also the overall global economy. Consumers are likely to feel the pinch at the pump, and industries reliant on oil may face increased costs. Furthermore, countries that import oil are bracing for potential shortages, leading to inflationary pressures. Financial markets are reacting with volatility as investors assess the risks associated with escalating military conflicts. The situation could also prompt central banks to reconsider their monetary policies in response to rising inflation and economic uncertainty. As businesses and governments prepare for the potential fallout, the urgency for a diplomatic resolution becomes increasingly apparent. The ripple effects of this conflict could be felt far beyond the Middle East, affecting economies worldwide. Iran has issued a stark warning to the United States following recent military actions in the region. The Iranian government claims that U.S. military ships have violated a ceasefire agreement, exacerbating tensions that have been simmering for months. This warning comes at a time when diplomatic efforts to resolve conflicts in the Middle East have stalled, and both nations appear to be on a collision course. Iran's leaders have vowed to respond decisively to any perceived aggression, raising concerns about potential military confrontations. The rhetoric from Tehran has intensified, with officials stating that they will protect their sovereignty at all costs. This escalation not only threatens the security of the region but also poses risks to global oil supplies, given the strategic location of the Strait of Hormuz. The international community is closely monitoring the situation, as further escalations could lead to widespread instability. Many are calling for renewed diplomatic efforts to defuse the situation before it spirals out of control. In U.S. political news, Representative Eric Swalwell has announced his resignation from Congress following serious allegations of sexual assault and misconduct. This decision has sent shockwaves through the political landscape, as Swalwell has been a prominent voice in the Democratic Party, particularly known for his stances on national security and impeachment proceedings against former President Trump. The allegations surfaced earlier this week, prompting a swift investigation and significant pressure from both sides of the political aisle for him to step down. Swalwell's departure is not just a personal loss, but marks a significant moment for accountability in politics, highlighting ongoing issues regarding misconduct among elected officials. His resignation may alter the dynamics in the House of Representatives, as Democrats will need to fill his seat during a critical election year, potentially impacting their majority. The fallout from this incident could have lasting implications for the Democratic Party's image and voter confidence, especially as they grapple with calls for reform. As the investigation continues, many are advocating for more comprehensive measures to address harassment and misconduct in politics. The party now faces a crucial task to restore trust and ensure that such incidents are effectively addressed in the future. In a significant escalation of tensions in the Middle East, the United States has initiated a blockade of Iranian ports. This action comes after failed negotiations aimed at de-escalating the ongoing conflict between the two nations. The U.S. government has cited Iran's continued military provocations, including missile tests and aggressive naval maneuvers, as the primary reason for this drastic measure. The situation has rapidly deteriorated following a series of military engagements that have heightened fears of a wider war. As a result, oil prices surged, with Brent crude reaching levels not seen in recent years, as markets reacted to the potential disruption of one of the world's critical shipping lanes. The blockade is expected to have profound implications not only for regional stability, but also for the global economy, particularly in energy markets. Countries dependent on oil from the region, such as China and several European nations, are bracing for potential shortages and price hikes. The Iranian government has condemned the blockade and vowed to retaliate, raising concerns over possible military confrontations in the Strait of Hormuz. International reactions vary, with some allies supporting the U.S. stance, while others call for restraint and diplomacy. As both sides remain entrenched in their positions, the coming days will be crucial in determining whether this conflict will escalate further or if diplomatic efforts can be revived. Thank you for watching. If you found this information useful, please subscribe to our channel. Which story shocked you the most? Let us know in the comments.